Barbra Streisand's story isn't just about fame or fortune. It's about a woman who turned pain into power, rejection into recognition, and loneliness into legacy. At 82, she stands not only as one of the greatest entertainers of all time, but also as a symbol of what it means to never give up on yourself, even when the world makes you feel invisible. Her life, filled with struggle, passion, and defiance, is the kind of story that sticks with you long after the spotlight fades. Barbra was born in Brooklyn, New York, into a working-class Jewish family. But before she even had the chance to know what a normal childhood was, it all fell apart. When she was just a baby, her father, Emanuel Streisand, died unexpectedly from complications related to epilepsy. It was a condition people didn't understand back then. Instead of telling young Barbra the truth, her mother said her father had died from working too hard. That lie, meant to protect her, ended up haunting her for years. She grew up scared of pushing herself too hard and confused about the man she never got the chance to know. After her father's death, life quickly spiraled into hardship. The comfort her family once had disappeared. Her mother, Diana, had no choice but to move Barbra and her brother into a tiny apartment with her parents. The space was so small it didn't even have a proper living room. There was no couch, no privacy, and certainly no sense of stability. Barbra didn't even get her own bedroom until she was 16. These living conditions shaped how she viewed the world. While most kids longed for toys or adventures, Barbra simply wished for space and warmth, both physical and emotional. But the emotional support she craved never came. Her mother, weighed down by her own depression, didn't express love in ways Barbra could feel. There were no hugs, no "I love yous," just food on the table. Barbra and her brother grew up feeling emotionally starved. And to make things even harder, being a fatherless child in that era came with stigma. It made her feel different, and not in a good way. At just 8 years old, another major change hit her life. She was sent to camp where she felt completely alone and out of place. But when her mother came to pick her up, something shocking happened. Sitting in the car was a man she had never seen before, her new stepfather. No one had prepared her for this. Even more shocking, her mother was pregnant. Overnight, Barbra's already complicated world became even more confusing. She tried everything to be accepted by her stepfather. She called him Dad, fetched his slippers, stayed out of trouble. But none of it worked. He never saw her as his own. He often compared her to her half-sister, always making Barbra feel like she wasn't enough. Faced with constant rejection at home, Barbra found refuge in her voice. She sang on stoops and at community events, anywhere someone would listen. Her soprano voice was striking even as a child. But instead of encouragement, her mother told her to forget about show business. She wanted Barbra to become a typist, something secure, something ordinary. But Barbra knew she wasn't ordinary. She had a fire in her that couldn't be ignored. 16, she had left home and was living on her own. She worked low-paying jobs just to get by. One of those jobs was at a theater showing The Sound of Music. One day, she found out about auditions and decided to go for it. She didn't get the role, but the casting director told her something that stuck. She should put singing on her resume. That one piece of advice gave her the confidence she needed. Barbra wasn't interested in fitting into anyone's mold. She began performing in a gay nightclub in Greenwich Village, a bold move for the time. But she didn't care. She wasn't afraid of what people thought. That nightclub gave her a platform to shine. She built a loyal following and started shaping her identity, not just as a performer, but as a person. It was during this time that she changed the spelling of her name from Barbra to Barbra. It was subtle, but meaningful. She was carving out her own path on her own terms. Still, it wasn't easy. People constantly criticized her looks, especially her nose. Agents and managers pressured her to get plastic surgery, but Barbra refused. Her nose wasn't just a feature, It was a part of her identity, her heritage. She believed her voice and her talent should speak louder than appearances. And she was right. That confidence in who she was made her stand out even more. She wasn't just trying to make it as a singer. She had bigger dreams. She wanted to act. She admired singers like Billie Holiday and Edith Piaf, who performed with such emotion and drama. Barbra wanted to tell stories, not just sing songs. Her first acting role came in a small production called Another Evening with Harry Stunes. The show flopped, closing after just one day. But Barbra didn't let that stop her. She kept going. In 1960, her big break came at a nightclub called the Bonsoir. She auditioned and landed a contract. She opened for comedian Phyllis Diller and quickly made a name for herself. Her blend of humor, honesty, and that unforgettable voice won people over. Critics compared her to Judy Garland and Lena Horne. A theater critic even predicted that by the time she was 30, Barbra would change the music industry. He wasn't wrong. From there, her rise seemed unstoppable. She didn't just become a star, she became a force. She won 2 Academy Awards, 10 Grammy Awards, 5 Emmys, 4 Peabody Awards, 9 Golden Globes, and even the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And she didn't stop there. She also directed films, produced albums, and used her platform to speak out about causes she believed in. Barbra Streisand wasn't just performing, she was making history. But behind all the success was still the girl from Brooklyn, the one who had to share a bed, who longed to hear "I love you," who fought for every bit of recognition she received. Her legacy isn't just built on talent. It's built on resilience, on refusing to let pain define her. She turned her childhood scars into creative strength. She faced every challenge head-on and used each one as fuel. Even today, at 82, Barbra remains a powerful figure. She's not just remembered for her voice or her films. She's remembered for her courage. Her son recently opened up about her life in a way that added even more depth to her story. He spoke about her tenderness, her struggles, her strength. Hearing those words reminded fans that behind the icon is a real person, a woman who fought. Hard to be seen and heard. Barbra Streisand's story is more than inspirational. It's unforgettable. It shows what's possible when you believe in yourself, even when no one else does. From the cramped apartments of Brooklyn to the biggest stages in the world, she never stopped pushing forward. Her voice changed the world, but her strength shaped her legacy. If you found her story as powerful as we did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more stories like this, and let us know in the comments what part of Barbra's journey inspired you the most.